Today's subject is, well, what am I, my experience with the past 7 years downloading my art and stuff on the internet. And so, I don't just do art, it's science. So, I kind of think of art as everything. Everything is art to me. So I think art is more about material science and fabrication and design and so forth. But the mainstream art world dictates that the art world is about painting and fine painting and stuff. And so I could do that, but that takes a lot of patience. That takes a lot of patience to sit there for. I mean, depending on what type of painting you do, it could take years. If you want a really nice painting, it could take up to a year. And I can paint, but I don't think I want to sit there for a year painting a fine art piece. Anyways, art. So it has been a nightmare trying to be an artist in this world today, and I have been using the AI art a lot. I'm a jeweler, metal fabricator, welder, all that stuff. Okay, that's my style of art. I can draw, but anyways, the AI art made things so much more easy. If I have the ability to make a painting that I want in a few seconds instead of spending a year, I mean, it is obvious that this AI art and music video generator has potential. It's not perfect yet, but it's almost Hollywood quality film and stereo, audio, all that stuff. In order to make a 20-second action film requires millions of dollars. You need a stage, you need actors, you need a script, you need rehearsal, you need special effects. List goes on and on and on. And old school method of making a film was you need $1 million. You need millions of dollars to make, depending on how much work and effort you're putting into a scene. It could take millions of dollars to film that Hollywood magic style. And the ability to do that in minutes with the AI video generator is, you can't compete with that. You cannot compete with that. And I'm using the YouTube video music generator, and I use other music generators on, I use Fruity Loops and InShot and a lot of other apps to make my music. But it's a free app on YouTube, and you just click a button and you're able to make YouTube videos using the AI video art generator. There's an AI, you got the same app I'm using. There are AI video music generators and such on these apps, built on the app. And so it's nothing special, that special. But if you want, to get into more advanced music synthesizing, you got to use different apps. YouTube Music Generator won't do it all for you. YouTube Music Generator is very good. I love, but it's not still. I'm still not getting out the vision I want with a lot of the YouTube Music Generator. It is the YouTube Music Generator is good, but it still isn't doing what I'm telling it to do. And I look forward to in the future, I got a bunch of short 30-second tracks that I am unable to modulate on the YouTube Music Generator. And it is easier said than done. It is easier said than done to modulate these short tracks because I have to match the exact frequency. I can't break the drum beat, and I'm using resonance. I'm not using conventional vibration with drums and percussion instruments and such. I'm using I am human. I have proof that I am human. I have actual, real, physical evidence that I am human. No, I am not an alien. I am not. Someone in chat is asking me if I'm AI or human. I have real physical proof that I exist. Not a lot of people can say that. I'm a jeweler. I do sculptor. I would like to get into architecture and maybe music and vehicle design and stuff, but the industries are giving me a very hard time. I'm not surprised. But that is one thing I could say that not a lot of people can say. Not a lot of people can say they have real physical proof of their existence. Okay, I seriously wonder sometimes if I exist. This is probably one thing I've been trying to do this entire time, was trying to prove that I exist. And it's almost as if I have not been able to prove that fact. I honestly don't know if I exist at all. Trying to prove that I exist. It's crazy. I'm like one of the only YouTube channels. This is the only YouTube channel that I'm the only YouTuber. And if you look at my YouTube, nobody ever responds to any of my videos. I don't have any. I got like 10 comments on all of my posts, probably all together. I got like 500,000 pages of posts of art and such that I made posted on the internet, and I think only 10 people out there responded. So this is a phenomenon. I don't know what it is. Most likely what is happening here, I'm shadow banned, and the internet overlord puts me in a petri dish where all the federal goonies can observe me like a lab rat in a petri dish. I don't know. I can only speculate, but that's what I think is going on here. I don't know, maybe some internet overlord, Elon Musk or something, put me in a internet petri dish that is like a kind of deep web sort of thing. So I'm not visible on the surface of the mainstream internet. You have to like really search for me in order to find me. So that's probably what is happening here. And I don't even really care about being a corny ass influencer in the first place. I'm an artist and I just post my art. And for some reason, the internet overlord thinks that art censorship is legal. I understand. I don't know if are we keeping the free speech or what? I don't know. I don't even talk much. I don't even talk on my YouTube channel. and I'm censored. I do black powder percussion cap pistols, black powder percussion cap, 100% legal, unregulated, United States. I don't do and ninja weapons. And ninja weapons. I make knives and fireballs and potato launchers. Okay, I don't do fully automatic, high capacity military weapons. And for some reason, YouTube, yeah, whatever, YouTube hates everybody. Whatever, I don't care. But I suppose that those community guidelines. You're not allowed to post videos about your muzzle loader, black powder cap, black powder percussion cap muzzle loader. You're gonna get censored and blacklisted for posting videos about your black powder percussion cap muzzle loader. It's like, what am I gonna do? Like criminals with a muzzle loader. Like, how does that work? Wait. I have to wait. Like, don't shoot back. I need a minute to reload. I need a minute to reload here. Don't shoot back. Okay, that is ridiculous. Ninja weapons. This isn't England. We aren't taking away knives from people. Anyway, this is just one of the many, many, many methods and tools and social engineering kind of thing the government and AI or the Borg, whoever it is, the lizard people, who knows? I don't know. Internet overlord. The psychological warfare. You know, if you listen to a lot of these artists that, you know, they are pretty much forced to be used as a tool. That's what the industry does to a lot of the artists. And that's what, it's kind of like what I'm doing here. I'm kind of poking sticks at the art industry, music industry, and science industry, and pushing their buttons and so they refuse to have anything to do with me or acknowledge me unless there's some kind of secret condition, there's some kind of secret agreement, some kind of contract of some type I have to sign. Because it's AI, I'm orange, green, hi. What's up, car? Yeah, it's all, I don't know if it could be all AI. What is it? I don't know. We could be in a matrix. We could be in a holographic universe. We could be, maybe the earth is hollow. Maybe the earth is flat. I think the earth is round. I hope the earth is round. I'm a round earther. And I hope the earth is round and it's rotating around the sun. But really, there's no way to prove that unless I was to fly out into orbit and see it for myself, you know. So, but yes, I do believe that the earth is round. But, you know, it is so abstract, distorted, mutated, deformed, modern art masterpiece that is designed to make you very confusing, so you look at it and wonder, what the hell is this? It doesn't make any sense. And it makes you feel stupid and calls you a sucker at the same time. So that's the kind of this abstract bullshito mind trick the internet psychological mind fucking machine, you know, likes to play these games. It's all narcissistic psychological abuse is what it is. It's all narcissistic psychological abuse. And I don't know what they want, but they probably want your soul. They probably want to eat your soul or something. Is probably most likely what I think they want from me. And It's not for sale, and I'm not. I do what I do because I'm an artist. Okay, I don't do what I do so everybody could copycat me, and I've seen government goonies getting multi-million-dollar grants for my art and science projects, and I'm getting arrested for taking a nap in my van. Got arrested for taking a nap in my van. The judge was threatening to put me in jail for 6 months for taking a nap in my van, and I travel a lot. So if you look at my videos, I'm always somewhere different because I'm always somewhere different. I live out of motels and I travel and I just poke sticks and I just do my thing and okay, whatever. And so, where was I going with this? I was talking about the psychological warfare of the art music industry, and I don't know what they do to these people, but I'm not affiliated with anything. I'm not affiliated with I have no affiliations. I'm not affiliated with any organization or, I travel a lot, so I make friends everywhere I go, and then I move, and then make friends somewhere else. But, anyways, the psychological warfare of this. So I hear often about a lot of internet influencers being very frustrated, very kind of traumatized by using social media. And yeah, I totally understand why. I totally understand why. I do what I do because I'm an artist. And the machine doesn't like it because I'm not processed. I don't know what is it. I don't know what it is they do to these people. Do they like kill them and then put a rubber mask on and pretend to be the person that was once, naturally, that was an artist. So I don't know what it is they do to these people. But I don't want to know. I don't want to find out. I ain't signing no contracts. I ain't a part of any type of social engineering. I have no agenda. I'm not interested in being a celebrity. I'm not interested in being an influencer. I do care how I post my art on the internet, post my art on Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, all this stuff. And I also often do product design search to make sure that I'm not copycatting anybody. So that's something you need to be aware of if you want to be an artist. You got to understand how to use the product design search, because you don't want to be copycatting anybody. And that's something that I see often happen in the art industry. And it shouldn't be happening in the first place, because that's like one of the first things they teach you in school. At least they did back when I was a kid. I remember, my teachers clearly, it was like they would be sure to make sure you understand that copycatting other people's art and putting your name on it is very illegal. You shouldn't be doing that. So and for some reason, I see a lot of artists on Pinterest, supposed artists in the art industry, doing this all the time. I might accidentally do this sometimes as well, but it was an accident. I don't intend to mimic or copycat anybody. I try to be original all the time. And so, but I get, so, Pinterest does not like me. I don't care. I don't like, oh God, I don't want to get into that subject. Pinterest has done some really nasty things to me. When I first got on Pinterest, they were deleting my photos of my crystal art. I posted a bunch of art about crystal superheroes, crystal architecture, crystal cars, all that stuff. And someone on Pinterest went in and started deleting a lot of that art off of my timeline. And I've seen a lot of other Goonies out there in the art industry trying to steal that copyright from me. But, I have references, I back it up, I back up my backup, and I post it, and I spam it, and I have the dates and times, I have my name on it, and, that's the rules, okay? That's the rules. It's like we're all different colors of the spectrum. We all have a different frequency, we all have different flavors, we're all unique in our own way. And so if you want to look at Picasso art, research Picasso. He had his own identity. He had his own style. He had his own method and all that stuff. If you want to look at Leonardo da Vinci art, I love Leonardo da Vinci. He was one of my favorites. He did some really cool stuff with robots. He invented robots, I think it was like 1300s or something. It might have been 1400s. But, I mean, that's far out. That's far out, dude. But if you like, that's why if you want to, if you're educating yourself about art and science and stuff, you have to look up the original that invented it, that created it. So because it's they have their own flavor, they have their own style, they have their own identity, they have their own specialty, and that is very hard to mimic. That is very hard to fake. And that was very painful to watch thousands of wannabes on Pinterest copycat me, and then Pinterest shadow bans me at the same time. Pinterest shadow bans me and censors art. Why is art censorship legal in the first place? Art. And community guidelines. What my black powder percussion cap, pistol, golf ball launcher. I got a black powder percussion cap golf ball launcher. That violates community guidelines on Pinterest. Maybe in England, not in America. Black powder percussion cap is legal and unregulated in America. Even in countries that don't have necessarily gun rights. Even in countries, in some countries, you're allowed to own a black powder percussion cap rifle or something. Even in countries that don't have gun rights. So, this is not England, Pinterest. We don't shadow ban and censor people for knife mods and black powder percussion cap mods. I mean, this is just how the industry likes to play their narcissistic psychological abuse towards artists to compensate and comfort for their insecure, deranged emotions and feelings and stuff. It's just, so yeah, that's what I hate about this art industry. It's full of deranged, mentally ill, really boring, really lame, corny, cringy, narcissistic abuse. It's some type of money laundering industry. That's what the art industry is right now. It's all about money laundering, or I don't know what it is they do. They tape bananas to the wall and poop on canvases and I don't know, robot blood scooping machine. I don't freaking know. It's all really lame, corny, cringy, nerdy, boring. Oh God, it's so freaking boring. Okay, I'm not knocking. I'm not talking smack about everybody in the art industry. I actually really like a lot of the modern art. That's kind of like what I don't really necessarily say I do a lot of the modern art. I suppose it has a little bit of modern art in it, but I'm not talking crap about a lot of artists out there. I actually really do like a lot of modern art out there. Okay, I actually I like all types of music. I don't have a particular type of music that I don't won't listen to. I'll listen to all types of music. I don't care. I like all the flavors and colors of the rainbow and all that stuff. I am not involved with the LGBTQ communities. I do a lot of rainbow art, and I'm not. So I don't. There's no symbolism. If anybody interprets anything I do as some type of symbolism that is not true, look, I make chains, I make chain link necklaces, and some people say, "Oh, that's a symbol of slavery or something." No, uh, I do rainbow art. Some people like, "Oh, that's a symbol of gays." No, the rainbow is not gay. I just really love the colors. I was doing a lot of the plasma spectrum art. I I absolutely love looking at that. I love the plasma spectrum art with the somatic frequencies. That is so cool. I love watching that. I want to make movies of music and that type of art and stuff. That'd be so. But that does not. But I'm not affiliated with LGBTQ. Even though I might do, I don't do drugs. I know I do a lot of psychedelic art. A lot of the art I do was not inspired by psychedelics at all. So uh, I know I do a lot of psychedelic art, but it was not inspired by drugs at all. Um, I like coffee. I drink too much coffee sometimes, and I like CBD gummies, but that's it. And I am not suggesting any type of. I suppose I do art, so it is kind of naturally involved with pro social construct of some type, and spirituality, and maybe a little bit of politics might fall into it. But one thing I'm frustrated with is the fact that there seems to be a type of anti-free thought in the internet community that people look at me like I'm weird or something. What I do is organic and natural, and I kind of like emphasize the beauty of nature and stuff, and that's why I call it the art of connecting heavens and earth, is because it's emphasizing, exaggerating, uh, magnifying the beauty of nature, and so it's organic, and it has this basic style of what I do is natural and organic. And I think that's the best way to describe it. And then it goes into a lot of other different stuff like cosmic horror and psychedelic and uh you know jewelry fabrication and wire art and all this other stuff. But basically that's the style I do. I think if you're to boil it down to what it is, it's organic. And I suppose that might trigger all the synths out there, the Borg and the AI. Like, oh, this guy's organic. Delete him. Delete organics. It has to be synthesized by the machine and processed. You're not allowed to be an artist unless we give you permission. And so a myth is, I'm not really into I don't get into any of the cult mythology and legend and all that stuff. But, one of the myths and legends of spirituality was like, the fallen angels came to earth and taught men a bunch of forbidden knowledge and such. And a lot of the fallen angels taught the art of how to be a better liar and how to the bullshido mind tricks, the Sith Lord mind tricks like in Jedi, the reverse psychology gymnastics to revert everything, use your own words against you, project my insecurities and deficiencies towards everybody else to compensate and comfort for my insecurities and deficiencies, and then make myself look like a victim at the same time. And so this type of psychological warfare is rampant in the internet, and it's rampant everywhere. I'm honestly wondering what it is the hell they're teaching people in schools these days. Is this the type of education we are teaching the brainwashed millennial generation on how to be a better liar? Because that's basically what I come across at often, is the goofball goonies in the industry, like, look at me cross-eyed, drooling on themselves, like they just sucked on a tube of toothpaste. And they're looking at me like, you have your own brain? Why? You aren't allowed to have your own brain. And if you look at the news headlines, scientific news headlines, it says, scientists grow lab-grown brains with circuit boards. And artificial intelligence confirms this. This is not a conspiracy. I don't know who these freaking people, these weirdos in laboratories growing human brains with circuit boards in them. AI will tell you that is not a conspiracy. And if I talk about the Borg often, I refer to the Borg often. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but I honestly think that we are being invaded by, who knows? AI says it's the aliens. I don't trust the AI either, and I could be the Borg. Some type of they're both evasive, non-physical entities, the unforeseen force, and it's a very high intelligence, and they are, and whatever this thing is, it's a master of manipulation, deception, and master manipulator, like trying to take over the world or something. Pinky and the brain. So, one is a genius, the other's insane. And so, don't want to be an American idiot. Welcome to the land of paranoia, where everything isn't meant to be okay. Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation. That's the Green Day song. It's funny, back in the 90s, he wrote a song about what's happening today. And if you look at a lot of these rock songs, I swear that, a lot of these rock stars could be prophets. Like Disturbed, I forgot the name of the song. Disturbed made some songs about, depicting, made some music videos about what is happening today. That's the thing, it's odd. Artists, I think that maybe sometimes artists are getting their vision from the dream world or something. And whether or not they're prophets or what, or maybe they just knew something about the machine and the industry and the matrix and such, and they were able to kind of perceive what was happening in their music videos. It's not too often, but I can think of a few music videos that kind of prophesized what was happening to the... And who knows, I'm not claiming to be anything. I am not claiming to... I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude, I'm not claiming to be... I see all these... I suppose you might look at what I do and be like, whoa, this guy's an alien, this guy's AI, this guy is not from this planet. No, I am just making it up as I go. I'm just a dude, and I'm making it up as I go, and it's different and outside the box, but it's very primordial and organic. It's not anything unnatural. With a lot of art I do, it's very primordial. It has a raw, primordial kind of aesthetics and stuff. So, where was I going with this? So, what is this AI? I think that AI could have been around for a lot longer than we possibly are aware of. You got these people like Elon and all these other computer gurus talking about how they contributed to the invention of the AI and all that stuff. I have a very hard time believing a lot of these government goonies, because most likely, I think, a lot of my family works for the government. I don't trust them. A lot of my family works for the government. They are not nice people. They are not nice, and I don't trust them. And it's probably, I don't know what the government did to my family, but they probably had some kind of government psyop training on how to revert the reverse psychology, bullshito mind trick, and use your own words against you, and compensate and comfort for your deficiencies, and project project everything towards you like it's your fault. It's so freaking annoying. It is so freaking annoying how manipulative everything has become. Everything has become like about narcissistic manipulation and abuse in the art industry and the science and family and society. Where was I going with this? And so, yeah, some people might say that I am, some people might say, I probably could rub off as a type of cult leader or something. No, I am not a cult leader. Nor would I ever want to join a cult. But and that's another thing. If people look at what I do, they would probably be thinking, is this guy a cult leader? Is he a spiritual guru or what? And I'm more, I'm a walker. Not a talker. Talking is cheap. And so I'm not going to preach. I preach Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father. Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father. Holy be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's my motto. That's my motto. Forgive our trespassers as they trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power, glory forever. Jesus Christ. Amen. And I've been praying that prayer for my entire life. And that's what... If I was to have a daydream, if I was to have a delusion, if I was to have a prophecy or of some type, I wrote it down a long time ago. I said, thy kingdom come. In Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. On my that's the headline on my title. And I'm sticking to it. And I told God, I'm not gonna keep that to myself. I'm gonna keep that to myself for right now. But that's kind of like what I'm doing with my art. I kind of glorify God with my art. And and another thing, what is happening here, I knew that this was going to be very painful. Because saints are not given a pedestal. Saints are tortured. We're beaten. We are... they're I don't want to get into that subject, dude. We are pushed out the window and thrown under the bus. And I don't know if I'm good enough to be a saint, but I will stand for God and humanity. And I don't care if I'm the last one. I will stand for God and humanity. And that's all. I'm not going to preach much. I'm going to say stop sinning and follow Jesus. Stop sinning and follow Jesus. Okay, and I probably get into more preaching later on. But work without faith is hollow, and that's what I see a lot of churches do these days. Talk. No walk, nothing to show. Forgive me for talking smack about the church, but the church really could probably be doing a lot more than just preaching the Bible. Yes, it is important to preach the Bible, but it is important to learn and preach the Bible. But, the church should be offering a lot more than just Bible study. So Jesus was a craftsman. Saint Nick is a artisan, craftsman, hobbyist. Noah built arks. Moses built pyramids. King David built temples and all this stuff, so on and so forth. Okay? So, it's kind of disappointing to see the lack of support I've had from Christian communities. My headline and my title probably rubs off as in the wrong way. You have to be very careful about. But I describe myself as Saint Nick. I refer to myself as Saint Nick because I'm an artisan. I'm a craftsman. I'm a hobbyist. I believe in hobby and craft and artistry and free thought and all that stuff. And independence. Another thing what I'm fighting for here is my independence. My ability to be independent and self-sufficient and take care of myself. And that is what is being taken away from us. And that's another reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I'm telling you, I don't want to tell you the hell I'm going through. This is very painful, extremely painful. Luckily, it hasn't been physical. It hasn't been. I haven't had any physical pain. But as far as, yeah, and I suppose in some ways it is physical. But as far as like being P Diddy'd or something, thank God that has not happened. I don't. That's exit only. Exit only. This nothing goes in there. It's exit only. Ugh. Okay, forget that bullshit. Thank God that hasn't happened to me. Anyways, oh, where was I going with this? Just ranting, rambling off the top of my head here, and trying to analyze this abstract, distorted, freaking construct, matrix of confusion and distortion. And as an artist, I understand that. I can kind of perceive it. So once you start to understand the abstract and modern art here, you can kind of start to visualize it on how this stuff works. It is so for some reason a lot of YouTube channels that are into the quackadoodle crazy cuckoo psychobabble, the quackadoodle crazy kooky psychobabble talk about how I see the craziest news freaking headlines in the algorithms possibly directed towards me because I do art, and they might think, oh, this guy's crazy like us. He makes crazy art. He might be it's like some kind of cult videos I get spammed with on YouTube algorithm, and it's probably some type of government psyop as well. Cult government psyop, freaking. And I read I don't even watch a lot of these videos. I just read the headlines, and it's some crazy quackadoodle psychobabble about how God wants to give me the ring of King Solomon or something, or some crazy quackadoodle stuff about how the Pleiadians want to show me the Emerald Tablets or something. Like, who comes up with this quackadoodle psychobabble bull crap? You got nothing better to do than sit in your basement all day and make up these ridiculous stories about how Thoth wrote about you in the Emerald Tablets or something. I don't know where you're getting this information from, but I'm pretty sure it's deranged, cult, brainwashed, psychological warfare. Because, you know, another reason why it's psychological warfare is because that title and the video and so forth is playing into your fantasies. And if you really want to get inside somebody's head, that's how you do it. You really play with people's heads by playing into their fantasies. Once you know what their fantasy is, that is some military grade psychological warfare, psyop propaganda bull crap. And I don't trust it. It's nefarious. I don't know where they're getting their information from, and now I'm not gonna discriminate against all religious people out there. I'm not saying that all these religious people and so forth are coming up with this crazy crackadoodle stuff, but uh, some of these channels on YouTube, on the algorithm, I'm getting spammed with the algorithm. Like, for whatever reason, I was constantly getting spammed with a bunch of headlines about how Elon Musk wants to meet me or something. And that's fine in an open public space. I'm not going into his basement or anything. And just, and tell me what you want. Give me the cash and I'll deliver. I'm not going along with it's almost as if they act as if they want some type of contract on a agenda of some type. And I don't do that. I'm not going to get involved with your social engineering. And it's not what I do. I think of myself as a material scientist, but the machine is making it very difficult for me. It is the government is making things very difficult for me on purpose. I promise you. I don't really want to get into all that subject, but like police are shooting me with tasers, breaking my cheekbone on the concrete floor, stealing my jewelry. I go to at a bar restaurant for no freaking reason, no probable cause, and then I get out of jail and the judge gives me a $700 fine, case dismissed, like resisting arrest. Like why are you freaking harassing me at a restaurant in the first place? No, anyways, this is just the government's way of saying screw you, Nicholas. Whatever. I don't. It's dorks, and so stuff like that goes on and on. I got arrested for taking a nap in my van. I got arrested for returning a broken smartphone to Walmart. Got arrested for the DMV. I get pulled over. I explain my situation. I drove across the country because somebody stole $200,000 from me. So I got to take this person to court because this guy stole $200,000 from me, and then then the police are trying to pull me over because telling me I have expired license plate or suspended license. I'm like, no, I have insurance. I have insurance, and I have tags. I have my tax stamp. They put a restraining order on me on my permanent address where I get my tax stamp and my insurance information. So that's another way how they stick it to me. They stick it to me like putting a restraining order on me on the address where I get my tax stamp and insurance and all my other important mail, my permanent address. So that's and then I go to the DMV saying why did you suspend my license, and they tell me my policy number and insurance card isn't proof of my insurance. I went through the line like 8 times at the DMV. They kept on telling me your policy number and insurance card isn't proof of your insurance. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're trying to get me arrested. You are trying to get me arrested. And I let him talk to my insurance agent on my phone, and my insurance agent told me she doesn't understand what the hell it is they're talking about. So that is another way how the government is trying to take away my vehicle right now. Accusing me of not paying for insurance when I have proof of insurance, and they want a special letter from my insurance company written under the moon on a certain time of the month, so they could do some kind of Harry Potter Hogwarts spell on it or something at the bureaucratic government office. So they need to do some kind of this letter needs to be signed under the moon at a certain time of the month, and then they're going to take it to the bureaucrat government office and do some hoodoo voodoo to it or something. That's honestly what I honestly heard the DMV tell me or something about my insurance. I was like, no. What, that is what you do to somebody when you want to put them in jail and impound their car. That is how you put them in jail and impound their car. Accuse them. I have been paying for insurance this entire time, and they're accusing me of not paying for insurance, and they're doing it on purpose. This is some type of government gang stalking or something. I don't know what it is. What is it? Because I went to the Social Security office. I told them my payee rep stole $200,000 from me, and my payee rep calls the police and is trying to get me arrested. So over and over and over and over again, every time I cross paths with these government goonies, they're trying to put me in jail. And it's thought police. It's the thought police. I'm a free thinking artist, and I do my own thing, and they don't like it. And so that's just my observation. As an artist and science guy, I observe for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And as a reaction, from what I've seen, is a multitude of different government agencies purposely making my life very difficult and very painful. And they're doing it on purpose, by design. And I could swear that someone at the DMV suspended my license, thinking a cop was going to arrest me, put me in jail, and impound my vehicle, just to screw me. Look, fortunately, I've been able to explain to the police what is going on here, and the manipulation of this kind of manipulation of the criminal justice system is just another one of the many, many tactics these government goonies like to use for their psychological warfare lab rat experiment with people or with artists, because I don't know what it is. I think they don't like free thinking artists because they don't want you to expose what is going on with the machine. There's a lot of problems with the machine, and so they obviously, I think from my perspective, is they want some kind of deal with you up front, so you won't get angry at having your soul being eaten or something. But that's pretty much where it has come to the point where I've tried everything to get out of this box. I've tried everything to get out of this prison planet. And it has gone absolutely nowhere. And it's just proof. I know it the entire time. It's just proof that the whole thing is a fake, fraud, phony baloney. The whole thing is fake, fraud, phony baloney. That's another thing I'm doing. I'm proving the fact that everything is a fake, fraud, phony baloney. And they got this thing on lockdown. They got this matrix on lockdown. They will not allow you to have cheat codes. I kind of think of like what I'm doing as entering my cheat codes. I know that's kind of crazy, but it's kind of like how I perceive it. But they got the antivirus cheat code matrix, and they won't let me use it unless I. What is it they want from me? I don't know. Good morning. The weather here is. If Jack Black had a brother. I look like I don't know why I have a beard. I never had beard and long hair before, so I thought I'd give it a try. So that's why I got a beard and long hair. And I'm not a necessarily big fan of it, but anyways, I thought I'd give it a try. What else is good? The weather out here is wonderful. Yeah, I like rainy days. It's a nice, cool rainy day. So, where was I going with this? I don't know. I think that's about all for today. So this is what I'm up against here. You know, like AC/DC said, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. You're going to get beat down, underpaid, ripped off, and beat down or something. So the world has always been hard. The world has always been painful. Whether or I don't think it is possible for advanced, enlightened societies to exist on this planet. I don't think anything like that has ever existed. But at least we could try. At least we could try. And we should be trying, because the quality of life has really gone down the drain since 2012. I'm a patriot. I love you. I love the United States of America. I love the way this country used to be, but something happened around 2012. I could swear 2020, 2012. And I'm the only one here trying to do anything constructive with meaning, reason, purpose, and value. And I suppose that another problem I'm having is Cain and Abel effect. I'm having a Cain and Abel effect. The same old story of the jealous brother Cain killing his brother Abel because his sacrifice was better. So that's what I'm experiencing here. And so that's a lot of people projecting their jealousy towards me. But then you have to understand, if you were to do what I was do, if you were to do what I was to do, you'd have millions of Cains trying to crush your head with a rock. Okay? So this is not getting involved with the art, poking sticks in the art industry and science, music industry and all that stuff is almost the equivalent of like flying my kamikaze into doomsday apocalypse. That's what I'm doing. I'm flying my freaking kamikaze into a doomsday apocalypse is what I'm doing. I'm like, if I'm going out with a bang. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. All right, I think that's about all for today. Thank you. Goodbye.